Good morning, precious children of God. I want to speak to you about forgiveness today. Sometimes it seems so easy to say that we want to forgive somebody for hurting our feelings or for friends fighting with us. But forgiveness is a very important part of a child of God's life. And you are a child of God. God handpicked you. He chose you to be his child. And we need to forgive the people that hurt us in order for us to live a better life, in order for us to feel better. We have to learn to let go of whatever pain somebody has caused us. And we need to pray for that person, that God would um, take care of that person, and that the fruits of the Spirit, that the Holy Spirit will work in that person. So today I want to speak to you about the forgiving prince. It is the story of Joseph. Jacob had 12 sons, but of all his sons, Joseph was his favorite. One day, Jacob gave Joseph a splendid new robe. It was beautiful and rich with all the colors of the rainbow, but it made Joseph's brothers jealous. They wanted rich rainbow robes too. Then, to make matters worse, Joseph kept on having these special dreams. Have you had a special dream, my kids? I Joseph dreamt that he was the greatest in the land, that he was a king. And Joseph told his brothers, and all all of you, and he told them that all of you bow down to me. Now, I'm sure you know, even if Joseph didn't, that telling your brothers and sisters or even your friends things like that isn't a very good idea. So Joseph's brothers hated him even more. People will dislike you more. And they wanted to kill Joseph and his dreams. And one day, that's exactly what they tried to do. They tore Joseph's rainbow robe off him and sold him to slavery. Do you know what is slavery? For 20 pieces of silver. So slavery is where you work and you don't get paid much. That is slavery. Slavery means that you work sometimes even for free, and you're forced to do that job, when that specific job. So this is the robe that Joseph's dad, that Jacob, sewed together for Joseph. And these are Joseph's brothers. The traders took Joseph on to Egypt and made him into a slave. The brothers went home and lied to their father, telling him that Joseph was dead. That's the end of that dreamer, they thought. But they were wrong. God had a magnificent dream for Joseph's life, and even when it looked like everything had gone wrong, God would use it to help all people make the dream come true. God would use everything that was happening to Joseph to do something good. So, even where you are right now, God has a dream for your life. He has a purpose, my kids, for your life. And it may seem that your life is no way, or you don't have much, but God has the final say over our lives. Meanwhile, though, things were not looking good for Joseph in Egypt. He was far from home and from his dad. Then he got blamed for something he didn't do, and even though he had done nothing wrong, he was punished and thrown in jail. But God had not left Joseph. So this is Joseph being thrown in jail. One night, Pharaoh, king of Egypt, had a scary dream about him, about thin cows gobbling up fat cows. What on earth did it mean? But he didn't know what it meant. So Pharaoh didn't know what his dream meant, but Joseph was a dream expert, so Pharaoh sent for him. It means a famine is coming, Joseph explained. There won't be enough food. Pharaoh was so pleased by Joseph's skill that he immediately took Joseph out of jail and made him a prince. Now, back home, Joseph's brothers had run out of food and everyone was hungry. God's special family was in danger. If they didn't get food soon, they would starve to death. So Joseph's brothers traveled to Egypt to buy food. They came and knelt before the new prince. His brothers didn't even know that the prince was Joseph. But Joseph knew who they were. Joseph's dream, the one about his brothers bowing down to him, was coming true. "It's me," Joseph cried. When they saw it was Joseph, his brothers were afraid. They had wronged Joseph. They had sinned and they knew it. Now Joseph would certainly punish them. But Joseph looked at his brothers and his eyes filled with tears. Even though his brothers had hurt him and hated him and wanted him dead, in spite of everything, he couldn't stop loving them. So when people cause us pain, so what do we learn so far in the story? That no matter how much pain a person causes us, we must still love them. Because God even makes our enemies be at peace with us, no matter what the circumstances. His heart, which they had broken, filled up with love, and Joseph forgave them. Joseph threw his arms around them. "Don't be afraid," he said. Behind what you were doing, underneath everything that was happening, God was doing something good, and God was making everything right again. Joseph didn't punish them. In fact, he rescued them. He brought God's special family to live safely with him in Egypt. One day, God would send another prince, a young prince, whose heart would break like Joseph. He would leave his home and his father. His brothers would hate him and want him dead. He would be sold for pieces of silver. Do you know who God is talking about? Yes, he's talking about Jesus. He would be punished even though he had done nothing wrong. But God would use everything that happened to this young prince, even the bad things, to do something good, to forgive the sins of the whole world. So what do we learn here, children? We learn that to forgive is very important. No matter how much pain somebody causes you, or no matter how badly somebody hurts you, you must still forgive them and love them and pray for them. Thank you, and God bless you.